Imagine we were talking one day about the Arctic, that place where the climate is changing faster than almost anywhere else. We were told that the Arctic is warming nearly twice as fast as the rest of the world. Then I asked, what would happen if all the ice on Earth melted? We thought about how our daily drinking water mostly comes from salty oceans, while only about 3% of the world's water is fresh. But not even all of that 3% is usable, because most of it, around 70%, is locked in ice and glaciers, roughly 30 million cubic kilometers of ice. That's enough ice that, if spread out in a sheet 1 kilometer thick, it could cover all of North America. On Earth, this ice exists as glaciers, ice sheets, and snowfall, while in the Arctic, it's mostly a floating sheet of frozen water made of large ice blocks. When temperatures rise, this floating sea ice is the first to melt, and NASA reports show that in recent years, Arctic sea ice has reached record lows. This means that soon there may come a time when ships can sail from Europe to Russia across the North Pole without being blocked by ice. For shipping companies, that's like a brand new trade route. But at the same time, polar bears, seals, and other wildlife will lose their natural habitats. They'll be forced to move, just like whales and other marine creatures whose feeding grounds and living spaces will be destroyed. Another danger is that when sea ice shrinks, oil and gas companies rush in to explore the Arctic. They carry out seismic surveys, dropping devices in the water and setting off controlled explosions to map what's under the sea in search of oil reserves. This practice disrupts the entire Arctic ecosystem, causing both physical and habitat damage to marine animals. Now, when it comes to sea levels, remember this. The melting of floating sea ice itself won't raise ocean levels much because it already displaces that volume of water. The real threat is the land-based ice, like the massive ice sheets of Greenland and Antarctica. If those melt, ocean water will rise dramatically, by up to 70 meters. Just imagine, half of the world's population lives near coastlines. Entire cities would be submerged, billions of dollars lost, and mass migrations forced upon millions of people. Major cities like Tokyo, New York, Mumbai, Shanghai, and Jakarta would be at extreme risk. Even a few meters of sea level rise could cost trillions of dollars in damages each year. There's another problem too. Less ice means Earth reflects less sunlight. White ice bounces sunlight back into space, but when ice disappears, the ocean absorbs it, warming even more. This accelerates the cycle, melting even more ice. It's a dangerous positive feedback loop. The more ice melts, the faster Earth warms, and the cycle continues. On top of that, if huge amounts of fresh water from Greenland flow into the oceans, global ocean currents could be disrupted. These currents circulate nutrients worldwide, supporting plankton growth, plankton that fish depend on, and we in turn depend on fish. In fact, nearly half of the oxygen we breathe comes from marine plants. So if ocean currents change, it could shake the entire food chain and even alter Europe's climate, threatening crops and food supplies. We personally traveled to the Arctic, and it was a shocking experience. We documented what we saw and made a film, End of the Arctic, showing how local communities are fighting for their land and rights, while oil companies and certain government policies are putting the Arctic's future at risk. You can help too, by spreading awareness, sharing the video, and signing our petition to pressure governments into stopping seismic surveys and other destructive activities that threaten the Arctic. These actions are critical, not just for animals and local people, but for the future of the entire planet. If you'd like, you can watch the video through the links below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more weekly investigative stories. Do you also want me to shorten this?